Good morning. Okay, let me just I'm still fighting the setup here. Let me figure this out. You go over there. Something sort of like that. Okay. And I can't find OBS. There we go. There we go. Hello. Good morning. Okay, let's see. We're gonna continue with this nonsense. So I'll start that somewhere right now. So I did do quite a bit more work yesterday. So let's go through what I've done. Okay, well I can show it, right? That way we can see and all be on the same page. What I've achieved. Okay, that's my cursor problem. This is such an annoying one. Sometimes it doesn't find the cursor or something. I'm not even sure why that is, but it tries to put the sprite on the cursor so it looks different. But yeah, it can't find the cursor. There we go. Okay, so what works? So the spa, I can now obviously, well, not obviously, but the observation room does not work. That is what I'm thinking of getting to work today, so that all the passive effects and that good stuff can work again. Yeah, but all these buildings work, and let's say you have 3 infirmaries, right? So these are your death pits. Not quite, but you know what I mean. So these are what I was working on yesterday specifically. So let's say you have a level 3 one over there and a level 2 one over there, and this one's level 1. So what I did was, to get it working again, when your character dies, they'll go to the highest level available hospital bed. Right, so they'll go to this one first, then they'll fill this one, then they'll fill this one. These rooms also work now. So our spa and the gyms, they all work, and our blacksmith also works. And let's say we want 2 blacksmiths. Now, there's a couple of things that don't work, so we could put somebody in the blacksmith, and I'll show you what I mean with that. You can go to there. You can go fight for us, and you can... Yeah, you can go to the wait section. It's fine. Okay, so we can start the level. I guess we can die, and then I'll show you that she goes to the highest level. Okay, we'll die now. Okay, so she went to this one, which is a level 3. Okay, that's good. Now, obviously, okay, there's still a couple of issues here. So when I click around, I can still technically upgrade these rooms and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily want that to be a thing that you can do. The idea here is obviously to select a character. So we can click on the chicken, for instance. No. Okay, he's already very tired, but you can see he's got a lot of additional stamina, but it's fine. Let's try this. Might be okay. He's got some good tools to deal with a bunch of lizards. And he's also quite healthy. Okay, there we go. Now, okay, the attack speed looks a bit weird because he ran out of stamina, which means his attack speed is negative 50%. And same with his movement speed. But okay, so let's see what happened here. So, Duck was in the weight section of the gym. So he gained health, as we expect. The Owl was in the cardio section, so his maximum stamina actually went up, right? So we can see here, max stamina is now higher. One thing, okay, and he also gained levels, right? Same as Daisy, she gained A level. So stats got better. This is one bug that I've noticed. So the blacksmith currently can give you 2 stats. It can give you attack damage. So he was getting a little bit of that. So he got all the way to 16 attack. But it also gives you armor. And you can see the armor is higher than it used to be. Because nobody starts with 11 armor. But it doesn't actually show the little green line. So there's something there. Like, I didn't even think this was going to happen. This was not something I coded explicitly. I didn't think I wanted this functionality. I kind of this happened by accident, so that's fine, I guess. Okay, so she did revive and she healed a little bit in the bed. Everything gets kicked out. So we still have to do, you know, what we have to do here. So we'll go here to the... Now we can't put somebody back in a hospital bed manually. That doesn't work. And so... Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to regain health in any way except for jacuzzi. And I don't have any available jacuzzis. So... That's unfortunate for her. Did I just do a critical hit? I suppose I still have critical chance. As a stat. I think I might want to dial down the amount of reaction that I get from changing movement. So they obviously do predictive movement, but I think they overreact a little bit. I think I want to just dial it down slightly. Okay, so he got even more attack damage and even more armor. So he went from 11 to 16 armor. Yeah, so clearly the thingy works. She got max health. And we can do something like that, I guess. Okay, this reduces lifesteal and attack speed. Gives you a bunch of armor and stuff though, so let's give it to the chicken. Okay. Yeah, so we're in this funny position now because we don't have any way of recovering any of our stats. We have one jacuzzi or one spa that we can send people to one at a time. Can't really do much with the other characters. I forgot she only had, well, very little health left. That's unfortunate. Pretty good. Okay, feather flux seal. Not bad. Doesn't help us really. And this thing uses even more. Or whatever. Give it to the chicken. Okay, she's been revived again. This time maybe I shouldn't get bombed before I got some lifesteal. Fortunately, I do have lifesteal, so should be able to heal up, no problem. And I don't have any stamina anymore. Whoops-a-daisies. Okay, so might be in trouble here. Yeah, the frogs could be a problem. Okay, I made it. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to manage with only one jacuzzi or one place where you could potentially rest up. So there's a couple of things I want to do to obviously address this. The one thing I want to do is I was considering replacing rooms potentially. So just having a way to change your room if you wanted, right? So let's say you did something like I just did. Now I have, too many hospitals and not enough recovery places just in general. So you could, in this case, let's say, go and say, oh, okay, cool, I have too many hospitals. Let's replace this room. Now obviously it'll cost you something, but you might want to do that. So I'm thinking about doing that. Another thing I'm thinking about, and what I will do, is to have the whole time flow thing. So our currency is going to become time and space crystals. Space crystals unlock things like the actual rooms, basically like how the coins work currently. Right, so you can use them to essentially teleport any type of items into the rooms that you've built, to expand upon them. And the time crystal, I want to make it so that that is what you use to progress time in this room. The idea would be something like, let's say I want, and I'll have to balance it somehow. I'm not sure how to balance it exactly, but that'll come. But let's say you have, like I do, one jacuzzi, but I want to kind of have multiple people in here to replenish their stats. So what I was thinking is the time crystals would work something like this. In this room, while you're in this room, time is frozen, right? But if you put somebody in the jacuzzi, for instance, and you do a time skip, you can gain the benefits of being in the jacuzzi for a set amount of time, as if you had played the game a little bit, right? So time progressed somewhat. And you can now do something like this, right? Where you have people in different rooms that are not exactly the next level rooms. You have those 4 rooms occupied. You click time skip. You spend some of those crystals that you've gained through the levels, and time progresses and they all gain the benefits of these rooms, right? So it's a way of having time progress within your hard seed, but not actually be playing the level. Now, I'm thinking of a couple of ways to balance that. The one way I was thinking would be to do something like, well, you could pay the crystal price to do 30 seconds of jacuzziing, right? Or you could just have somebody in the jacuzzi during the round. That's fine. You could do either or. To have 30 seconds pass in this room will be more expensive, right? So you could say that, oh, okay, if you want to do a time skip here, it's actually going to cost you more crystals than it would just playing the game normally, right? So let's say 1 crystal equals 1 second when you're playing the game normally, so you always need a little bit of a bank in here. Well, if 1 crystal equals 1 second during a fight, outside of the fight, so when we are just trying to get time to flow in here without us actually playing the game, it might cost you twice that, right? Not necessarily a bad thing, that might be fine, but it incentivizes you to use both your ability to time skip and the in-game wave timer to get your characters to use the rooms. Now, the other thing I was thinking is that maybe I want certain rooms, or I want to give the rooms the ability to go faster or slower. Right, so let's say you want somebody in the jacuzzi, but you don't actually want them to be there for that long. Like, you can kind of tell that they're going to be okay if they just spend like 15 seconds in the jacuzzi, but a time skip is 30 seconds. Well, what you could do is half the time, so you basically have time progress slower, so they are at half speed, but that's cheaper, and you can keep them at half speed even during the level, and you can make certain rooms double speed so they get twice the benefit, or things like that. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, we still need to figure this out. Let's just make the observation room work again, shall we? Okay, so I have a couple of problems with the observation room. The first problem is I don't actually have an observation room prefab. Right, so I need to make a prefab for the observation room. Okay. The other problem I have is the way the observation room moves around. Right, so you guys might remember that when I was setting up the preview idea for the next level, what usually happened was the observation room would actually move to different points in the world, looking down onto the levels via these observation points, right? Now, that's okay, but I think I want something new. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna create a camera on each level to give us the overview. So I'll put it somewhere on the level. But this camera is gonna render to a render texture, right? So I've used this trick before. And then I'll just change out the render texture on the room as I need. You know, that way it can still seem like, well, then I don't actually have to physically move the room. I can just have a view with a render texture on plane or something, and it can look like this room is still looking at a specific level, right? But for now, I think I just kind of want to make it at least work in terms of the passive abilities and the the stat gains that you can expect. Well, not the stat gains, the resource gain or the resource replenishment. Okay, and I'm gonna make the observation room not move for a while, right? So let's see, when do we move it? Okay, so when we set the level, we move the observation room. Okay, I'm gonna forget this, but let's keep this in there maybe. Yeah, maybe we can just do this. So it calls an empty function, that's fine for now. But the observation room won't actually move. Anyway, okay. And that's fine because we don't want it to move anymore. Okay. So let's just grab the observation room and reset, transform. Okay, now it's over here. Okay, so we can make a prefab out of it. Okay, so we need to do a couple of things. We need to add the hard seed room, right, which has all these lists for the different levels. We had the room manager in here previously, which we'll switch off now. Okay. Okay, there's really not a lot going on for the observation room, it seems. Okay, let's just look at the observation room. Okay, so what do we need here? Okay, so we've got 3 different slots. Okay, that's fine. We'll work with this. So we can essentially just hide slot 3 and 1. Right, and then over here, we want to do a hide on level up. Okay, so we want to hide, because the chairs upgrade, they don't just add more chairs. You need to hide those as it levels up. We can also take the side table and move it a little bit closer here, I think. Same with this one. Okay, we'll fix that now. I'll look at the camera position now, I mean. Okay, so that seems okay. Now we just need to change up the levels. Okay, so everything seems to be inside of a level. That's nice. That just means it's much easier for me to do this now. So we want the stool in level 1, and we want level 1 in level 1. And we want the chair, level 2. And finally, the couch, and level 3. And it's as easy as that, right? And what do we want to hide at the start? Well, we want to hide all our chairs and all 3 levels. And that's it. that's the observation room setup. Okay, so this hard seed room will now, when you unlock it, you start with the level 1 and then you just upgrade the room to level 2. Do hide on level up is now true, so it'll hide the previous level's stuff, which it needs to do specifically for the observation room, because a lot of things get replaced, like the carpet goes from a green carpet to a red carpet to a blue carpet, so it's not just as simple as putting 3 carpets in the room. It's actually different carpets. Okay, but I think that's good. Okay, let's hide the blacksmith. Okay, just want to look at the camera. I guess that's fine. I don't think that'll be a problem. Okay, but now we got our okay, so let's see, hard seed room. So we have an observation room, we just didn't have a prefab, so let's just lock that. Okay, we can't find a prefab like that. We need to go to our things over here. Prefabs, rooms, observation room. Okay, so now we got it in there. Stat value increases are none. We do gain health, we do gain stamina, and we even gain spell juice, even though that's just reset. And the cost, let's make it 100, 100, 200. Okay, observation room. So that now everything should work. Doesn't take a dead character. Yeah, there we go. So that is the slot SO for the observation room. Now I'm not sure, but I don't think there's much else I need to do if that's all set up. Unless I don't have an observation room here. No, I do. Why do I have gym weights here? And observation room. Those 2 slots. Do I really use that? I don't think I do. I think I did for a bit. Let's just see why I have that there. I think I did this in the beginning, but I went away from that. H R S S O help. Okay, just see where I use that. So there, okay. Default slot. Okay, that makes sense. And okay, next level slot. Okay, those 2 make sense. There we just use the list. Okay, and that's all we really need. Okay, cool. So these are not used at all. We only use those 2 because they're special. They are not unlockable hard room slots. Hey, Norio. Add a flat screen. Well, I'm thinking of I could add a flat screen. That might not be a entirely terrible idea, honestly. So previously the way it worked was I had it so that it feels like you're looking through a window, and you can see the level and what's happening on the level. It's basically a method for the characters to see what's happening, so that they can assist with their special abilities or passive abilities, not special abilities. But yeah, now I need to add something else. I was thinking of like a magic mirror type of vibe. But we could do a flat screen TV. Okay, but anyway, let's see if this works, at least. So I'm gonna try and unlock the observation room, and I think since all my setup was correct, it should work. But there might be something I'm missing that I'm not aware of. Some script somewhere that I needed to do something extra with. Okay, so let's see. Unlock. Okay, it works. We got our observation room. Obviously, it looks terrible right now. It's just a stool. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Oh, I should move those. And the third level, we don't have a chair. Interesting. Okay, so there's a bit of a funny business going on there. Let's just unlock a couple of them, and let's see if the passive abilities work when the characters are in there. So I'm expecting a few things. I'm expecting them to gain experience now that they're in the observation rooms. And I'm also expecting that they will use their passive abilities. So let's see if we can see them happening. Ah, there we go. So we got the enlargement, or the enhancement, or whatever you call it, from the chicken. And we can see the fireballs falling out of the sky from the owl. Nice. Okay, so that works. We'll see now if they actually also gained... Damn it, I didn't get the rune. And they did, in fact, gain levels. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, that's actually very good. Now we have a way of... yeah, and obviously they are broken because the couch disappeared. Okay, let's do something like this. Okay, we also get the Robin ability. Nice. I like it. I just like the fact that it works. Okay, now everybody gained experience because they all were able to watch the fight and participate. Okay, so now let's go to main menu and see if we can actually do a few interesting things. Okay, let's just pause the music because now the game music's going to be playing. Okay, so if we did our good old build, 3 what are those, owls and a chicken. So Albus, Barnaby, Cedric and Duke. Let's go. So the idea here is you get a bunch of observation rooms. You put the owl in the observation room. You put the chicken in the level. And watch the magic happen. I don't think this is as powerful as it used to be. Mostly because I can't really change my passive strength reliably. But it's still pretty good. Okay, let's get a cardio section going here. Go do some cardio. So things are coming together again. The game is almost at the same place it was before I completely destroyed my progression system, or my UI specifically, which is good. Okay, so our stamina went up, but now he's completely tired with no stamina left, so he can't actually fight anymore. Okay, so we can make him either watch, or we can take him to the spa, where he'll gain a lot more stamina a lot faster. These slots are in the wrong order or something. I need to fix that. Oh, I need to fix the rooms as well. I forgot they're not fixed yet. Okay, we got some nav mesh problems. Almost died. Okay, that's good. So now we can just put all our owls back for support. We can have the chicken carry the day. I should actually check if there's a lag spike when the next song starts. Normally there was. No more lag spike. Okay, so I fixed that as well. Good. Okay, we definitely need to think of a way to make it more of a challenge without losing the satisfactory slaying of millions of little goblins, right? Oh, not goblins, lizards. Yeah, it's something I'd need to think about a little bit. Why is the spell juice bar not working? Something I should look at. It works on this one. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's go fix the rooms. So let's just stop it there. Let's go check what I messed up here. Okay, so we're hiding them, and then couch. Oh, I took the wrong couch. Okay. Should be couch 2. Okay, good. And okay, we can play our other music again. Okay, so now the couch should appear. And let's look at the level 2 stuff. I think, yeah, so at level 2 we already get these side tables, and they are way too far away. Maybe we only get a side table on level 2 and not a binocular. And we only get one side table, maybe. Yeah, why not? Let's just say we get a side table with nothing else. And then level 3 we get the rest. Okay. I can work with that. Okay, that's cool. That was that. That's a small thing that was still needed. And then the UI builder. These things are not in the right order or something. Oh yeah, no, they're all over the place. Eh. Okay, so let's see. Let's just rename them. This must be number 1. Okay, this must be number 2. Number 3. And finally, number 4. Okay, now they ordered correctly, so they'll fold them in the right order. Okay, that's good. That is good. I wonder if I should add a few more of these slots. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna keep it this way for now. Okay, so the observation rooms work. Just save this now that I've fixed it. So hopefully it doesn't do something weird again. Okay, so one thing I think I want to do is just see how I would be able to make the observation room have a view of the level. So I could either do something in here to put a view over there or something, but I think that's going to be more complicated. So a better way might just be to have a render texture placed on a mesh in here. Right, so if we think about it, what we'll have to do, so let's open up the observation room. So this is how I think it should work. So we could just insert a quad, capsule cylinder quad or a plane. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest. Okay, but here we have a plane. Let's just rotate it. Okay, so that's 90 degrees. Yeah, we could put it outside, that's fine. Okay, let's change the size. As 16 by 9, right? That doesn't seem right. Okay, so let's see if we look at it from here. Oh, I see. This should have been 9. There we go. Now we can scale it down. Okay, let's just center it. Okay, so we obviously need to move it up to the middle. Like that, and then we can move it back to over there. Okay. Okay, let's work with that. Now, I'm pretty sure you can put a render texture. Okay, so let's see how we do this. Go to assets. I'm just gonna play with this a little bit. So visual is assets. Material. Let's say create a new material. Oh, new material. And this is going to be the observation room screen. I'm just going to call it the screen for now. I don't really know. Okay, so it's gonna be a just lit. I don't think it should be just lit. Let's see. Now, how to add a render texture to plane in Unity. Let's see. Okay, so create render texture, blah, blah, blah. Create an object, plane, yeah. Create a material, select create material. Locate the L. Okay, that's fine. So we've got a material here, but it doesn't have an albedo or a normal map. Oh, wait. Base map. Okay, we can add the material to the plane. Now let's see if we go here and we open up our material. Base map. Not entirely sure. Okay, let's go back to Google. Let's go to the Unity docs, maybe that's better. Oh, okay, if you just have a quad and you drag the render texture to the quad, it'll automatically work. Okay, cool, let's do that. So 3D object quad instead. Right. So here's our quad. Now go to our UI render textures. So what we can do, I guess let's just do the observation room one. No idea if it worked. Okay, it definitely did something. Okay, this is the render texture view currently. Well, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, let's just put the position 0 and let's make this 16 by 9. Make it massive. It's the wrong way around. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, just rotate it by 180. Very interesting. Okay. This is cool. So we have the observation room render texture. Now we just need to change which camera is which camera it's referencing to. I don't know. Okay, so this one is obviously special, so we need to think about a way to make this work. I feel like I need to get a reference to this render texture. Okay, and another thing, if I duplicate this and I drag it over, right, we still get the quad with its view. Yes. Now the only other problem might be which camera. So this one is projecting to that one. This one as well. Okay, that's interesting. So what happens if I, change this camera? Okay. Oh, you know what it is? I think it's the last one I created. So probably if I change this one. That is pretty weird. What? Okay, wait, my mind is being blown right now. So changing your camera angle changes the whole view. So like the first level. But changing yours does the next one over? What? How the hell does this even work? Okay, my mind is officially blown. I have no idea how this works. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's pretty cool. But it's weird. It's so weird. How does this even work? Okay, this is a crazy effect. Yeah, so I could take the first camera, and if I move it, I'm gonna do this again. If I move it, it only moves everything on the second level forward. Right, so if I move this one to the right, I take this one, does it only move every second one? Oh my word, it does. Every second one is moved. That is bizarre. Okay, what happens if I have a third one? This is insane. Okay, so I have a third one now. It seems to move the first one again. Yeah. Okay, well that was amazing. Don't know what I might use that for, but it's pretty cool. Okay, anyway, so we got our observation room camera. We have our quad. So let's do on our quad. First of all, let's call this something differently. So this is gonna be our observation room screen. Right. We'll call it that. We'll change it in the future to something else if we want to. But okay, we need to add another. We can either add it here, so a screen controller or something like that, right? So let's go to scripts and add like a screen controller. Okay, where's my script? Am I dumb? There we go. Yeah, so where would this be? I have no idea. Okay, we have an observation room script, which I guess we don't use for anything, actually. Yeah, this thing is completely useless. Still being referenced by something, or it's just referenced internally by itself. You know what? Let's grab this script and just get rid of it. Okay, so the first thing we need is a render texture. Right, so public render texture. So do we need a reference to the render texture here? No, I don't think so. So we'd like to change the view. But we shouldn't be changing the view here. What should we then have access to from here? Camera? Not necessarily. Actually, I'm not sure. So for the observation room, I feel like we should put the render texture somewhere central where anything can grab it. You know, something like the thing that should move the observation room, like this script over here, which said observation room location. Maybe this is where I put it. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that is something I do. So what I'm thinking is every level should have a camera set up in the level itself. And effectively what this script should do is it should grab the level or something like that. We could also do this over here where we set the level, for instance. We could set the level, and level transition manager obviously knows which level it's trying to set. Right, and then I could just grab the level manager. Ask it to get the camera and set the camera's texture to that render texture. Yeah, so I could do something like public set. This is the level manager itself. Set camera output. Okay. So this could just be public void. Set camera outputs, and we can ask for not a camera, because it'll have a reference to a camera, but something like a render texture. Right, something like that. And then over here, we can do public camera level camera. Okay. Something straightforward like that. And then we set the camera output. We can do something like camera level camera dot output. What is it called again? Okay, so let's just see. Output texture. I do have a new thing that does that. It's not the Heartseed room. Is it the Heartseed room manager? Doubt it. Target texture. Okay. So you can make level camera target texture equals the render texture. Okay. And essentially what I want to do there is change the cameras, or switch. You obviously have the screen. We're changing the channel essentially, telling the camera to set the output. I think this is going to work. So let's see. Now we just need to put cameras in each level. Also, I want to check. Oh, we don't actually have a forest in there. That is probably why I never play in the forest. Okay, but we essentially have to go through each of these. Okay, we need to recompile. So hot reload gets all the serialized data stuff. Okay, so we can go to the boss level. I think we need to have a camera on the base level. Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay. So the base level, I think I'm going to give it a camera. Camera. Call it the level camera. Okay. You have a level manager, so we can drag the level camera into you. Okay, and what we can do here. Ooh, okay, now we have a bunch of level cameras. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, anyway. Let's see. Can I click to view camera output or something? Don't know. Oh, it is moving. Okay, cool. So I moved it over there. Okay, I guess you want to rotate it 90 degrees, maybe. It looks forward. And then about the x-axis, I don't know, like 15. Will it look down or up? A little bit down. Okay, we essentially have to go through every single level. I guess I'm just gonna call this boss level camera. Okay, and if we now look through the boss level camera, I mean, we should see something. Okay. Now we're talking. Okay, so we can literally move around. And we can be like, okay, cool. Rotate like that. Now he's looking straight at that thing. Now he's looking straight forward. Okay, that's probably better. Okay, so what if we copy component, paste component values. Okay, this is gonna be the forest level camera. Right, and if we look at the forest level camera, can't see anything. Okay, so forest level camera. Let's move you a little bit. Okay, maybe you need to go, maybe not up, maybe forward. Something to, yeah, it's pretty good already. Okay, there we go. There's the forest level camera. Okay, this is the entrance level camera. Paste component values. Okay, and now we look at the entrance level camera. We can't see anything because these values are garbage for this specific level. Okay, something like this is what we need. Okay, we can come down a little bit, I think. Even tilt up a little bit like that. That's our entrance level camera. I think I like that. Okay. This is the desert. A desert level camera. Okay, let's go look at it. Okay, it looks off into the distance. Keep the height, I think. It's okay, we just need to change this perspective. Okay, now let's go up again. Yeah, the most difficult part about this is like getting... Since the levels aren't really that big, you quickly... When you look off into the distance, like you see pretty much nothing. Okay, this is gonna be... you can see the edge of the levels and stuff, which obviously doesn't look very good. Okay, swamp level camera. That actually doesn't look very terrible because of the way we designed the level. It's actually okay. Can look off into the distance. Yeah, so the swamp might be able to do, yeah. A little bit more of a ground view type of thing. Nice. Finally, we have the felt level camera. Let's go over here and let's rotate. Wonder if we can go low. That doesn't look too bad. Kinda like that. Yeah. Okay. So those are all the cameras, right? So now each level will have a camera. And I believe the level will still hold its reference. Yeah, it didn't lose no reference, which is good. Okay, so that means in my script, set camera output, so I need to give it a render texture, right? So I need to call this from somewhere. And I feel like the level transition manager is not a bad place. So we can do level manager dot set camera output. And now we just need to give it a render texture. So the level transition manager, perhaps. Here we set the level with an integer. Yeah, we can give this thing the observation room. Private render texture observation screen. Or whatever. Something like that, right? And then we can just call this function with our observation screen. Straightforward like that, right? Okay, so now we just need to change the texture, or we need to plug it into our level transition manager, which is over here. We need a recompile for that. Okay, just the observation room, right? Yeah, I believe so. And I do believe that it might just work now. I'm a little reluctant to just believe that, but we can check. Maybe it does just work. Wouldn't that be a thing? I think that'll be pretty cool. Let's give it a go. Let's see. Okay, so next level. Ooh! What are we seeing? Yeah. What? Okay, let's unlock an observation room. Ah, look at that. So we can see the next level. And if we do another observation room, it should be fine as well. Okay. Okay, let's do our 3 observation room build. Okay, so no matter which observation room we click on, okay, yeah, and the upgrading also works now. Yeah, we can make them nice. I don't know why this changed, but anyway. What? Did I break my main camera? What happened? Main camera? What? Something is off here. What? What's my camera doing? Cameras? Okay, main camera, Cinemachine camera. You should be following the player. Am I missing something here? I feel like I might be missing something here. This is a weird one. No. What is happening? Is it... we have multiple cameras rendering? Okay, I don't know. I'll be right back. Gonna grab myself something to drink, use the restroom, and then try and figure this out. And we want to do this and this. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. I still don't know what the hell. What? The H? What the H is happening here? Okay, so why would the camera change like this? So let's open our level manager. Okay, so obviously all the levels are showing here for now. Such a weird thing. Okay, so let's see observation room. So that they work. We can clearly see the next room. Okay, so if we start the next level, we need a character to actually start the level with. Very strange. Okay, so a few strange things are happening now. So I didn't hide any of these, which I don't understand. It's supposed to. Yeah, so our level transition manager should go through what should have gone through and done. Okay, yeah, so normally what this thing does is it just gets the level, then it does, if level is the selected level, okay, else that sets the selected level. And here it hides the selected level, but why did it not do that? So set level is called What? Did I break something here? Okay, so let's see. For each level, so we just show all the levels, then we go through here. And if the level number is 1, we just set level 2 to 1. Okay. Else, if level is 10, we select, the selected level becomes the last one. And we, for each so maybe we should do this. Still, so not just set level 2, level 1. Where we actually do selected level, set level. So selected level is just 1, and then we do set level for 1. Yeah, that's it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, this should work. So it goes through all the levels. I think it didn't work properly previously. Okay, let's just stop that and play it again. So it should know that it's level 1 and hide all the other levels from the start. It just does not. Okay, now it did. Okay, so it knows. Okay, now I don't know what I'm looking at here, but so if I go here, observation room, I can still see what I need to see. If I go here and I start level, okay, I'm on the correct camera. Bunch of confused lizards. Yeah, but we only have 1 level active, and seems to be fine. Okay, these two got levels, that's normal. Okay. Okay. That is a little strange. Okay, let's just do another observation room. Okay, this is what I'm expecting should happen. Maybe without the chicken. Why does this one do this now? Okay, we'll continue with this. See if it starts working out. If it will. Okay, now they're both doing that. They are looking through another level. What is happening here? Well, they're looking through this observation room. Ah, okay. They're looking through the observation room. They were still in the level. Okay, I understand. Okay, so now we can see this is a forest level. We can get another observation room. Okay, they all work correctly. Good old forest level. Haven't been here in a while. But it broke. Okay. That seems reasonable. And I ran out of stamina. Am I gonna die? I should really make his jump cost stamina as well. I didn't even die. That's amazing. Okay, so we'll need a spa. Put him in the spa. Okay, this looks like a very dark desert. Yeah, the lighting is weird. If we look at our scene... Okay, I mean, it's showing the desert, right? That is the desert. It's just the lighting is not correct. I need to change the lights for these levels. I don't know how exactly I'm gonna do that, but I definitely should make them a little bit more lit. I feel like something like what I do with the yeah, like this got like a bluish kind of tint, which is fine for like a forest level or a, you know, a magical enchanted forest type of feeling. But for a dry and hot desert, I kind of feel like it should be red or orange or yellowy tones that we highlight here. The frames. The frames, I was losing them all. Okay, chicken's ready again. The chicken is ready, so this is the swamp level. Yeah, so it could be like a cold blue tint, right? I feel like that would make sense for this level. Okay, lifesteal is completely broken. Seems my nav mesh is also a bit broken. I don't know. I feel like I really need to think about it. I'm thinking about this all the time, just not talking about it. But like, I really need to figure out how exactly I'm gonna balance the game to feel challenging. Right, because right now there's no challenge really. It's hectic. There's no challenge. Really, right? There's a lot of stuff happening on the screen, but I don't feel like I'm struggling to beat them. And that's, I mean, there's multiple reasons for that, but one of the reasons would be, you know, my characters just scale too quickly. And yeah, so clearly they did, I mean, yeah, he's way too strong. And the item, so lifesteal's also too strong. And this is just passive scaling. Like, I haven't even unlocked a room for him to go and do, you know, our chicken. To go and do any kind of workouts or whatever you want to call it, right? Yeah, so that's kind of a thing. It's one of the things we need to think about. So how are we going to get there exactly? It's like, do you want... You want a lot of enemies, but we kind of need a way to deal with a lot of enemies then. And I kind of feel like we're not dealing with a lot of enemies currently. We're dealing with them by just being completely overpowered, right? Which is not a good way of dealing with them. You need to deal with them with an ability or something, right? Your characters need to have a means of defeating the enemies in a good chunks or something. Specifically, like, the interaction currently that's bothering me is the one with the Komodo dragon, right? It's a very strong enemy, and like, you can obviously kill it. But yeah, there's a couple of problems with it, right? So I don't know if it's maybe it's too fast or something. Like, I don't know. Okay, the frogs can obviously become a problem, especially when there are many frogs, like you see right now. At least my frames are getting obliterated. Yeah, it's like the best way I can deal with these frogs is just to avoid them. Like, you can't go in there. Okay, and obviously the fact that we lose 1 million frames the moment I jump in is kind of a problem as well. I mean, this is level 7, but it might be. There's a lot of tweaking we need to do. Obviously, if you add enemy types, etc. Yeah, but I need to find the fun somehow. I need to figure out how to get the game in a state where, you know, it feels good. Like, you can play. You are on this. I think there's a game design principle. I don't know where I heard it from, some game design YouTuber probably. But it's something like this, right? Where there's two things. Let's see. There are two axes. That we need to be thinking about. I don't know how to put this. What are they again? It's something like difficulty. What is it called? I think it's difficulty and something else. Is it difficulty over time? Maybe it's difficulty versus time. Or skill. I don't know. So, but the idea is that, you know, as the skill level of your character increases, which of the player, this could be time, skill, power, scaling, right? So the scaling of the character, the improvement of the player. So it's obviously, okay, we can't even see what I'm writing because I'm writing underneath myself. Okay, something like that. Okay, but anyway, so as the time progresses or your player gets more skillful or your characters become more powerful, the difficulty needs to increase, right? And there's a line, or let's say there's like a band, right? So there's like this band that we need to be within. And it's like, this is like the optimal difficulty or the optimal challenge zone. Right, and you can think about it. If the player spends a lot of time in here, so this becomes boring, right? If for some reason the difficulty, as the skill and the power of the character and the player improves, the difficulty didn't actually increase, this is boring, right? This is when it kind of feels like a grind. This is very grindy games, right? This is stuff like, oh, I just need to mine 1 billion of this ore, and there's nothing new to challenge or think about, to challenge me or think about while I'm doing this. I just need to spend 20 hours mining, you know, some iron or whatever. Now that's not good. It might not be a problem if you have difficulty or just maybe content in general on the side. So you might find that it's not difficult, but the so I guess there's multiple things that we can put on these axes. So maybe time and content could be two that we need to think about. So that would be something like, the more time you spend playing the game, the more content we should find or unlock or whatever, right? Because eventually, even if it gets more difficult, if there's not more engaging content like new characters or abilities or whatever, different scenarios, you might get bored of it. So there's not enough content or variety, right? So that's important. That could also lead to boredom. Difficulty is more with the skill and power level. So this could get boring. This is, you know, anxiety. Anxious. Whatever. Anxiety, right? So this is like, I don't have the required skill or power to play at this difficulty. So it kind of feels, it doesn't feel good. So if we spend a lot of time here, the player is gonna not really want to play it. This is how I feel with platformers. And it probably could be a skill issue, right? I'm just not good at platforming games. And I get super fiddly. Like I literally feel my body cringe when I try to solve a platforming puzzle. Like, I can see what I need to do, but there's like a timing thing that you need to be good at, and I'm not, and then I cringe internally, and it's not good. So I feel like this all the time with platformers, so I don't go there. So what you want is something like this. So both for content and time, so as the player spends more time in the game, more content should become available, more options, more variety. But also, as the skill and the power level of the player increases, the difficulty should match that. So that you never feel like... You should always be kind of on this edge, right? Where the difficulty level is optimal for the amount of power you've gained. Now, I'm not saying we should follow a straight line. We shouldn't necessarily do this, right, as we progress. I think what's a good way of doing this is, and this is kind of how I want to make the game feel. And I think Brotato does this very good. So Brotato does something like this, where it starts fine. So it starts fine and it does this. And then it resets and it does this. Resets, it does this. It resets, it does this. And sometimes, what could actually happen is it might do this for a little while. And then it goes boss level. You know what I mean? And the way this works is every single wave, you feel in control for the first 10 seconds. It's not a problem. And then it gets a little hectic and you are frantically running around trying to survive. And then you get that massive relief when the round ends and you've made it, right? You're like, oh, thank goodness I made it, right? That's how I feel with Brotato every time. Now, obviously, as your skill level increases, this whole thing shifts because you're just good at the game. But the power versus difficulty scaling is still going to be like this. So how you account for skill level change in a game like Brotato is you just improve or increase the difficulty level. So they obviously have multiple difficulty levels where as you get better at the game, you can go ahead and try them out. And then the content versus time thing that they do is you just have multiple types of potatoes, right? And since it's a roguelike, every single time you restart, you kind of get a new set of items and weapons and stuff like that. So it feels fresh. It feels like there's some variety. And that's good as well. Now, I'm obviously not getting this correct, because you can ignore half of the mechanics I have in the game, and what my game is currently doing is it kind of starts easy, and it stays relatively easy, right? The difficulty doesn't really go up, or as the difficulty goes up, your power scaling is way faster than the difficulty scaling, right? And then even when there's a couple of spikes, I feel like we never really get out of this zone. Even with more enemies, etc. It feels like the current balance of the game is overtuned characters. Now, how you get it to move in here is not very simple, I would say. Because being in this spot, if you think about how we are in this spot currently, why are we in this spot? So there could be a couple of reasons. So one of the reasons could be, we just let's increase the font size here. Right, so one of the reasons is we kill enemies too quick. Right. That's a potential reason. You just kill the enemies too quickly. Second reason, enemies are not that dangerous. So the enemies are not that dangerous. You are too tanky, right? So that could be another thing. You are too fast, or enemies too slow, right? So that would be kind of the problem where it's like, oh, I can just evade them infinitely, right? I never need to think about engaging with them because there's a timer. So I can just run around until the timer runs out. Right, that's kind of what that means. So these are some of the things we might need to think about. Now, which one of them do I think are relevant for our game? So I don't think this is a problem. I don't think we kill enemies too quickly. In fact, most of the time, I feel like we don't kill them fast enough. Right? I think enemies are not very dangerous. And I think we are too tanky. Well, that's kind of like saying the same thing, right? So we need to be careful with that one. You are too fast or the enemies are too slow. I don't feel that really, because when I play the game, it feels like, you know, the small enemies can get to you. I get hit by bombs all the time. The Komodo dragons can tackle me. It's not like I'm not getting damaged. It's just the damage is not really that relevant. Okay. So, this is kind of a problem, right? Because if you think about it, this game is combat, right? Combat is a very important part of the game. So we want to be able to kill enemies. That is what it's about. Unless you very specifically have a build where you don't kill enemies, right? That's possible. So in a game like Rotato, I feel like you get into boring. Why? Well, the main reason I think in a game like Rotato is you kill the enemies too quickly. So it's a very combat-driven difficulty scale. It's like, you are so powerful, enemies just melt away immediately. Right? And so that's one of the ways the game gets too easy. One of the ways it gets too difficult is this. You are not very tanky. So Rotato is all about evading enemies more than anything else. And you take little bits of chip damage, and you get some ways to recover that health, but you don't recover it very quickly. Right, so this is normally the thing that gets you in Rotato. Sometimes you might be too slow, so since you are slow, you take damage more often. But I feel like when I play the game, I'm always frantically running towards fruits and stuff like that, because most of the time when I play it, I don't have a build that has sufficient health regeneration. So I'm always trying to figure out how to get my health back. Right? And I feel like they really got this balance thing correct. And normally when this drop-off starts happening, it's probably not because of health or tankiness, it's because you just became very powerful in terms of your damage. And I feel like that's the same with Vampire Survivors. So when do we want to go into the I am overpowerful, I'm overpowered type of side of things, right? So I think this kind of progression might be okay. Also think this kind of progression is okay, where we frequently get into the I'm anxious, I'm gonna die type of region. And then something changes where we reach some threshold and we become insanely powerful. Now we might not reach this threshold, and that is basically because of the build, but you might not have a very good build, you might not have gotten the items you needed, something like that. So that is possible, and it does happen. Like even in Vampire Survivors, if you think about it, it's also like you need to be very careful what you do, because you are not tanky and enemies kill you easily. The main thing is the enemies actually hit you. And I feel like this is now where our problem is. So if we had to deep dive on these and really think about what it means for our game, I feel like there's a different problem that's maybe not very easy to see. And our problem is maybe like enemies don't reliably do damage. Ignore the spelling, right? We're not here for some for spelling. Enemies don't reliably do damage. So that's a different problem. A little bit more specific. It's not that the enemies aren't dangerous, but they're not very reliable in the damage they do. So why would this kind of be, right? Hello? Okay, so somehow I can't type anymore. But why is this? Long attack wind up. Right, so that could be a problem. So the wind up is pretty long, and then the damage area too small. Right, and I'm specifically talking about things like the lizards, right? So those could be two problems that we face with the lizards, for instance. And now I'm thinking about another game I'm playing currently, which is Death Must Die. So they also have a long attack wind up, but the damage area for characters with long wind up times is quite big. So they hit more reliably. So this is like for small enemies. Right. So that would be for the smaller enemies. Now, the bombers, I feel like they don't really have a problem. I think the next problem is well, there is a problem with the bombers. We struggle to engage bombers. That is a bit of a problem, especially with melee enemies, but maybe that's something we should know. So that we could fix by doing something like first of all, we need maybe less bombers to start with. Maybe less bombers could be a good solution to that. And then the other solution I can think of is like give player a like the option to prep for bombers. Right, so this is kind of like what I did in the past, where I said when the bombers were a thing, right? You had the option to... Well, no, this is way in the past when I was still thinking about the game. But one of the things that I did was I gave you a hint as to how many enemies to suspect of which type. Kind of like a percentage or whatever. Well, I did a percentage calculation in the background, and then I just gave you a hint, be like, yo, there's going to be a lot of bombers, so be careful. And that way you could choose a character that is good at dealing with bombers, right? And I feel like I need to go back to that type of model where it's not like the chicken is bad, he's just bad against bombers. And we might give him a tool to use against bombers, but it needs to be a prep. Like, if you think about it, what we could do is something like, okay, there's a bomber round coming. We can see it, we can feel it in our bones, right? Then you go like, okay, fine. We'll take an owl. Owl does pretty well against bombers. Why? Well, he does a large AoE damage, roughly at the range of the bomber. So, perfect. And then we can do, okay, so that makes sense. Or we can say, oh no, it's a bomber level. We don't have an owl, so that's not an option. But what we can do is we can use this consumable or whatever that increases our movement speed, because that makes it easier to engage with the bombers. So we get a temporary stat boost that'll help us deal with bombers, even with a character that's normally not as good with dealing with bombers. I think I kind of like that idea. Because I want it to feel like we are killing enemies. We should be killing enemies. We should get to a point where we are so powerful that we are out killing the spawn rate. I like that idea. Right, you see enemies and you like wipe the floor with them instantly. Except for like big tanky enemies, right? But they should then be less... well, we should have less of them, typically. And maybe the Komodo dragon is not tanky enough currently, so that could also be a problem with that. Okay, so that's all good and nice and everything. The main problem with all of this still is I need to be sure. So this is all progression problems, right? So we need to be sure that we have all the tools available in terms of progression before I try and balance this too much. Right, because I might add a new progression mechanism that completely changes the way all of this works. So with all that being said, I think I want to add the new progression mechanism. So the new progression mechanism is going to be the time skip ability in our hard seat, right? So our waiting room, we can actually progress time by paying to progress time. Okay, so let's work on that. So this is, and what that's going to allow us to do, and obviously we need to tune the stats of all the characters because they are just way too powerful currently. But what we need to do essentially is make a way for you to, so if you think about it, there should be a button here. And when everybody is all settled in the rooms, we want a button that does a time skip. And that would let time progress in the rooms where characters are residing. Okay, that was a lot of waffling. Let's see if we can't actually start building this system, or just building something in general. Good. Okay, so we'll need a button. I think one of the other things, so if we go to our UI manager, so we got this with a bunch of helpers and more character stats, rune manager. I think I'm gonna add a component here because I'm fed up working in my level prep thing. I think I'm just gonna add a component here, which is gonna be a time skip manager or something like that, right? So scripts. Yeah, my scripts are also kind of all over the place, but it's fine. Wanna be AVIOR script, so this is gonna be the hot seed time skip. Let's put a UI at the back of that because why not, right? Okay. Let's let it compile. We'll attach it and then we'll go and we'll do some coding. Did it compile? I think it did. Okay, so let's see. Enhance time skip UI. There we go. We can pin this one because I don't want to look through all these. I should actually just close them. Okay, so what do we need? I feel like we would need a ref. Oh yes, like it. Okay, we'd need a reference to our level prep hard seed UI. Right, that's going to be important because a lot of the information that we might need to grab is going to come from there. Specifically, things like the list of all the slots and the characters and all that stuff is stored in there somewhere. Okay, so if we got it, we are good. I think, do we need the coin manager? I don't think so. I think it's a global thing, so that's fine. So okay, how exactly do we want to do this? So I kind of feel like if we file new. What? Okay, that's unfortunate. Let's just zoom out. Do that. We'll color it now. Just wait. Avert your eyes. Okay. Now let's get our blackboard open here. Okay, we can just scroll down. So I kind of feel like, okay, so we got a bunch of stuff right here. We got our room. Here we got our character stats. This is where all our hard seed stuff's happening. And this is kind of the situation. Well, this is the place where we want to do some other stuff. Flamingo is Z. Thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Okay. So we got this over here now. Obviously, it's very poorly designed currently. But this is effectively the block that we want to think about. So, how far am I into development? In months or in percentage? Percentage, I have no idea. In months, it's probably around 8. I started at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I'm getting close. I don't know how long. Have you seen what the game looks like? Have you been here for a while, lurking? Or okay, you just came in. Well, okay. Want to have a quick peek? I think it's probably at. Gotta have my weird build. I was testing out a funny build. Not a funny build. It's a nice build. It's pretty cool. But you just have a bunch of owls and a chicken. So let's go to the main menu and select a few different characters. Oh geez, main menu got broken. Don't know what this is about. Oh man. Okay, now we have multiple. Okay, so our main menu is broken. I didn't even realize that I did that. Ah, this is a camera problem. Ah, damn it. Damn you, camera. There we go. Okay, that's better. This is the main menu. The camera was a little bit weird. I wonder how it decides which camera to use. Anyway, our logo is still a work in progress. Our artist is on it. Don't worry. He's gonna get there. This is just some amalgamation of concepts that he sent us. Anyway, so play the game. You select your team. Currently, you select your team. I kind of want to make it so you start with 1, and then you can build your team as you play. But for now, we select our team. They all go stand there around the fire. You can take people out. You can have multiple of the same kind of character. We want to make it so that they actually look a little bit different if you have multiple of them. But obviously that all takes time, so we'll get there eventually. It works like this for now, so that's good enough for me. Okay, now we got at least one of each character type that's currently available. Okay, here we go. This is the party overview. So you get your party, you can see what they have. They have rune slots, so we can get items. That's basically the items that we get. They all have their little stats going on here. This is not supposed to show right now, but it does. Okay, here we have a very work in progress system at the moment, but the idea is this is like a room, an extra dimensional room, like a TARDIS, and you can expand it by installing things like a spa and an infirmary if somebody dies, and a gym, cardio specifically. You can also do a weight section for the gym. You can do a blacksmith, and I'll talk about the rooms a little bit now. Observation room, and what else? Do I have everything? Okay, that's all the rooms I have currently implemented. Yeah. Okay, so I would need to add a little bit of text or something somewhere so you can know what they do. But the idea is the spa. You can upgrade it, so now it's level 3. The camera position is not perfect, so you can't really see all the niceties in the spa, but it's okay. So currently what the spa does, it helps the characters recover, so they can regen stamina and health when they go to the spa. The infirmary, when somebody dies, they can come here to get revived. The gym, so this is the cardio section of the gym. You can go here to increase your maximum stamina. Right? The weight section, you can go here to increase your maximum health. The blacksmith improves your damage and armor currently. Still a work in progress. I want to make that mechanic work a little bit differently. And then we have the observation room, which lets... I'm going to unlock 3 of them, I think. Observation room, unlock. And let's upgrade them nicely. So the observation room lets... Okay, so I think I've done this explanation backwards. The idea is you have a party of characters. This is a survivor type game, right? Survivor roguelike. Only one character gets to go and fight on the level. The rest of them need to be doing something else, right? In this TARDIS room of yours. So let's say we want the chicken to go fight. This is supposed to be a portal. It's placeholder stuff. The other guys can do something else, right? So we could say that, the owl, who is your wizard, doesn't have a lot of stamina to start off with. So they can go to the cardio section and work on that a little bit. The duck, he's actually pretty good overall currently, but let's say we want to get him more damage and armor. And let's say the Robin, or the ranger, needs to go watch the fight. So now we can play the fight. So we actually play the first level is the main menu screen that you saw. Okay, you can see my chicken is glowing. So that is the passive ability of our Robin. She gives you a massive attack speed boost periodically, right? A little bit of magic. Everybody has a passive ability, but you need to be watching the fight in order to cast that magical ability. Right? Okay, that's a very short round, but kind of saw some of the things I wanted to show. Now people have improved, so they've gained health or stamina or levels or whatever. So the chicken gained 5 levels, which is completely overpowered, but work in progress. And you can see he got a lot of stats. Our character that watched the fight also gained a few levels, because experience is gained by not only the person fighting, but the people watching the fight. The other 2 gained whatever they gained from the route, right? So you can see The owl now has a maximum stamina of 119, but current stamina is basically nothing. So characters get tired as they fight or work out in the gym or use the tools in the blacksmith or whatever they do. They get tired, so you have to constantly manage the stamina levels and obviously health of all your characters in order to progress. Now, my characters are completely broken. They're very overpowered. Wait, where did I just click? Where's my mouse? They're completely broken, so all of those mechanics sound nice in practice, but they kind of don't mean anything. Oh, I just equipped a rune. I don't know, that was maybe... since everybody is overpowered, it kind of doesn't matter what you do. You basically just win. But balancing is it's pretty hard, right? Balancing is a problem. No, this is my own idea. So obviously I did get inspiration from other survivor-like games. So one of the inspirations I've got was from Potato, where I wanted the rounds to be short, and then something happens between rounds, right? So I kind of like that idea. So that's why the game is structured in that way as well. And I don't know where else. Obviously, I play a lot of roguelike and survivor-like games in order to gain insights into what people are doing in the genre. Because obviously, if they are successful, they obviously did something right. And I have so many... I took so many like small things from different places that I can't even remember where some of it came from. But this room system, I feel like, is unique. There is a game that does something like this, where you have a party of characters. Is it Darkest Dungeon? It might be Darkest Dungeon. Yes, Darkest Dungeon. So Darkest Dungeon has something similar to this. So you also have a party, but then you have... I think I've never played this game. I should really play this game because I'm making something that could be similar. You have like the blacksmith and things like this. So there's a little town, as far as I know, and your characters can go into the town and do things in the town as well, between runs. Yeah, this is the town. You have your team, and they can go and do stuff in the town to improve their abilities or whatever. Right, so maybe some of it came from here, but I didn't even know about this game. I think somebody in my stream once told me about this game. But what I am thinking of doing here is adding a way to do time skips. So this is like an extra dimensional TARDIS, right? So why not also travel in time? But that doesn't work yet, so we'll get there eventually. That's actually what I was just starting to implement. There are different types of enemies. It's just the first 2 levels only have the small lizards. Fire! Okay, you can see my health bar is completely broken. I think I have like one main thing I want to do for the core gameplay, or not really gameplay, but progression, and that is the time skip idea. So I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, if we are in this room, wouldn't it be nice if you can kind of do like put characters in places, right, and then skip through time by paying for it, right? So you have a currency or something and you can do a time skip, and then your characters get the benefits from being in the rooms. Okay, And you might be able to do that like 3 times between rounds, and then you have to go and do another round. And obviously what this is going to do is it's going to change the way scaling works entirely again. So I want to get that system working, and if it works, then I can start thinking about tweaking the balancing of the game a little bit. So that balancing is obviously very finicky. It's a lot of polish type of stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. Let me just... so once I've done that, I think then all the core progression and gameplay systems are in place that I can think of right now. I might have forgotten one that I really wanted to do. Yeah, and then we can think about polishing the UI, because the UI is not polished at all. But you don't want to waste time building a UI that you're not even going to use. So, okay, this is our wizard. He's not very good at dealing with the small lizards, but now the frogs are here, and he has no problem dealing with them. Yeah, but he's going to get mobbed. Let's use his ability. The fire cone appears. Oh, jeez. Okay, that was interesting. Oh, no. I just clicked out of the screen again. Now, your mouse isn't captured when you play in Unity. And I died. Okay, so I died, and I got kicked into the hospital bed. We want to make it so that you can actually see the characters in the bed. So these rooms are physical places. They're not just static images. If you go to the scene, they all exist in the scene right over here. So since they exist, we can actually make our characters come here and lie in the bed. I think that'll be a kind of a nice touch. But yeah, I don't currently have, what do you call it? Well, the time, right? All of that stuff takes a while, and it doesn't change the gameplay or anything like that. So, yeah, we can always get to it later, right? But I think it's a nice touch that people will like. Yeah, here's the observation room. You can see they're watching. If somebody was sitting here, okay, we have this kind of weirdness. So it turns out if you have, this is just I shouldn't have this one in here. Yeah, because this one is causing this weird effect where you can look into another observation room into the level. I need to take that one out. If you take that one out, it's all fine. There's the gym. There's another gym. Yeah, so we can physically put the characters in there, which is kind of nice. I think it'll be cool. Okay, so if somebody dies, then somebody can take over. So it's a roguelike in that death isn't... Party wipe is permanent, but death isn't. So your characters can get rescued and revived, but if your whole party gets wiped out, then you're screwed. Right, so we can now take the ranger, for instance. No, we can't because she doesn't have any stamina left because she was using the Stairmaster. The chicken has some stamina left. So we can... Oh, there was 1 second left in the level. Wow, that's amazing. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. Yeah, this is the technically the first game I'm making, kinda. I made a little 2D game in that I have on itch. I think there's a link below, like somewhere below the stream. But it was just a super small little 2D game that I made. Yeah, so here we can actually see, I don't know if I actually showed the levels, but The levels, everything is a work in progress, right? So we try something and we're like, it's fine, but we kind of want it different, and then we change it again. But here's all the different levels. You don't... Okay, these totems, they're not supposed to be that many. Only some of them show randomly every level. Here's a swamp that I never even got to right now. Swamp might be too swampy. I don't know. Oh yeah, there's a bubble here, so you get into the bubble. This is just a felt. And then, obviously, the entrance is this big one over here. It's much bigger because, obviously, we use it for the main menu as well. So it looks nicer. Be kind of cool if we can get everything to look, you know, similarly nice. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Yeah, if you think I know what I'm doing, it's just an illusion. Once you've watched me code for a couple of hours, you'll quickly realize I don't know what I'm doing. I can make things work, sort of. But I've been grilled so much on stream because my coding skills are lackluster, to say the least. I'm not a programmer by trade. I'm a mechanical engineer, so this is all new to me. I literally started learning C#, I think, in November last year. And then I started with this game roughly in January. So it's a bit rough. It's a bit rough. Okay, so I was kind of thinking through what I want here. So we obviously need to display how much currency we have. And then we need like a time skip button. And we need a cost for time skip. Cost of time skip and then time skip. And then maybe we need an amount of time skips left. And obviously, when we redesign our UI, all these elements will be placed better. But for now, that's okay. We can do something like that. So we'll need the amount of time skips. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, absolutely placeholder UI. Like, I've wasted enough time polishing UI and then literally getting rid of all of it. I've iterated with the UI a couple of times now. And I keep falling into that trap where I'm like, oh yeah, it would be nice if this button has this like nice effect and whatever. And then I completely remove the whole system that required that button in the first place. So, not doing that again. I might do that again, let's be honest. Okay, but okay, so we'll need a couple of buttons. How do we want to make these buttons look? Do they need to be special? I don't think so. So let's make it super straightforward. We'll need a label. Right, this is just gonna be the cost to time skip label. Label. Oh, please be a capital L. Thank you. And then we need a private button, I guess. Time skip button. And then we need something else to show in some way how many time skips we have left. That's if I want something like that in the first place. Let's just work with these two. We'll think about whether that is a thing that we want. So what I was thinking, and this is more from a balance perspective, I'm trying to preempt balancing here, which maybe I shouldn't, is to allow the player to pay for time skips, obviously, but also give them a limit to the amount of time skips they can have per level, right? So you finish level 1, and then you get an option of doing time skips before you start with level 2. And I wanted to limit that. But maybe I make it so that, you know, each time skip you do increases the cost of a time skip. So time skips are not a thing that you can just do infinitely. And maybe that's a good idea. That might be a better idea. So it's like a soft limit, not a hard limit. I don't tell you you can only do 3. I balance it in a way so that it's too expensive to realistically do more than 3. Maybe that's better. So it's a soft limit. But it allows the player to have a build or something like a build where you have a lot of time skip currency, right? Or something like that. And they rely on the fact that they can do many more time skips than you could typically do with a different type of build. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. We want options for the players. Okay, so then we just need a cost and a time skip button. Okay, so at start, we'd need to find our main. Well, we'll need to find the buttons, right? So let's see. So we can do cost to time skip label equals level prep UI dot. I think I can get the main container, so we can query that. So we'll need to find the label, and I like. Wait, why is this thing? It's not using a UI elements label. It's using a different type of label. I don't want that. UI elements system reflection emit. Okay, I don't know. Okay, Visual Studio tried to guess what type of label I wanted, and it guessed poorly. Yeah, we're working with UI elements here. Okay, so we need to get a label, and the label is going to be called literally this. Okay, and then yeah, we need to get our time skip button, and we're just going to get it from our label prep dot main container dot queue. Okay, and the button name. What? Time skip button. Right. Now we might not want to do this on start. We might want to do this in something like a public init, like initialize. Time skip. Yeah, something like this. So I can call it instead. Yeah, the reason I'm not. What's my time zone? GMT +2. That is South Africa. Okay, so we should call this from this thing. So what we can do here, okay, so we need our hard seed time skip UI. Okay, so on start. let's do get components part seed time skip UI. And then we can do time skip UI dot init. And that should be good. Yeah, that at least means the main container is set up, so it's good. Oh, you're back. Oh, welcome back, man. Had 3 kids and published the game. Ah, yes, wouldn't that be good? Unfortunately, the ads weren't that long, hey? No, so, I don't know if you heard, but I'm in a GMT +2 time zone. So that is in South Africa. South Africa. Okay, so we initialize this. That's good. Yeah, I'm in, well, SA, as in South Africa, yes. As in Saudi Arabia, no. Yeah, we didn't get the SA. I think South Africa is ZA. Where are you from? Let me guess. Canada. If that's even a place. Okay, so we could get the 2 buttons. For the cost and the time skip button. Okay, now we can do a public, that could be private void, time skip button click. Eastern US. It's like New York, eh? I guess there's a couple of other places there as well. Would Florida be considered Eastern? Alright, so it's time skip button dot clicked. We can do plus equal. Yeah, something like that. Time skip button click. Yeah, as in, but I guess it correctly. New York. Okay, so we click the time skip button, and now something should happen. And we don't know what should happen yet. So I think currently, okay, so the room slots already have apply room slot effect, right? So that's already a thing that kind of happens. Now it would be kind of nice. So this applies it once, right? So if we look at where it's called, yeah. So this is in a loop, right? So this is when hey, your family is from Argentina. Argentina. That's how I would say it. Yeah, I'm just enjoying this song for some reason. Let me like it. I need to remember to like songs that I enjoy. Because then it goes past and I never find it again in my life. Okay, anyway. So when we apply the room slot effect, we do it in this while loop here. And it only happens once a second, and it's only when actually time is being passed, right? So essentially what we could do is we could go through the slots and apply their effects. But I feel like How would I do this? It'd be kind of cool if I could just give it a number, right? What if I refactor this to just take in a number and it's like, apply the effect 30 times. That'd be kind of nice if I could do that. Maybe I don't do that. Maybe no. If I think about it, so the only reason I don't want to do that is because then the calculation it's going to do is it's going to check if you have enough stamina, let's say, to do 30 seconds or whatever, 30 time units worth of something, and you might not, but you might have enough stamina to do 28 time units of that thing. So I would kind of let it then maybe do it once every time. Just type 10010101010. Is that good? That'll fix all of it. Okay, so I think I want to do an apply room slot effect type of thing. So we can do time skip. Yeah, for now we can just do time skip. There might be something else we do in the future, but for now it's just going to be apply. Okay, so time skip button click. As soon as you click it, we want to do a loop for some amount of loops. Right, so we're going to be for int I less than. Okay, so let's say the time skip button does 10 ticks. Let's make it do 30 ticks. Yeah. Ooh, this could get a little bit because I'm going to do nested loops now here. Now I need to do, well, I essentially need to do this. Yeah, we need to go through the slot list count. Let's just copy that, right? Why not? Okay, so slot list count, so that's not going to be so straightforward. This needs to be a J or something else. Okay, now that's not a problem anymore. So we go through each slot. This should be from our... I don't know if this is a public thing that I could just get. Okay, it is. Okay, and the slot list, we need to do the same thing. Okay, so now it'll basically do the loop. Now this could be quite a bit of looping, but it's done in the menu, so I'm not really that worried about it. Yeah, so it should be fine. Okay, I think I need to go. I normally don't stream on Tuesdays because I have other things that I need to get to around this time. So it kind of ends up being a short stream, but you know, I gave it a go today and it's almost a 3-hour stream, so I'm gonna say that's good. Let me go get to work. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining me today. It's been good, had some nice discussions. I enjoyed all the brainstorming. But yeah, I need to go get to work, right? You guys are not paying me enough to stay here the whole day. It's not your fault. It's YouTube's fault or Twitch's fault. I should do a raid on Twitch at least, eh? If there's somebody I can raid that I know. Let's go raid Regenart or Regenart. I don't know how to say his name necessarily. So cheers all the Twitch people. Have a good rest of your day. You guys are off for the raid. And cheers to all the YouTube people. I will see you guys tomorrow. Or maybe a little bit of a long stream.